You're listening to Race Talk Radio. Hear us at the track on channel 454.500 or online at racetalkradio.com.
And we are back. All right, now we have a very interesting gentleman joining us next. We have Mr. Tim George Jr. Welcome to the show, Tim.
Hey, I can barely hear you, but I guess I can hear you. How you doing?
Well, that's good. Out of all the complaints I get, it's not usually that you can't hear me. So we have myself, Candy Mitten, and my co-host, Francois Peltier, on the line.
How you doing, Tim?
Great. Just got back from a nice mountain bike ride at the U.S. National Whitewater Center and feeling pretty good, pretty pumped up.
Nice.
Wow, that does sound like a nice night.
Yeah, it's a nice spot to train.
Well, you know, I checked out your website, and I would really recommend everybody do that. And I got to tell you the one thing that stood out. There was one particular statement. Winning isn't everything, but it is important. Being with the right team is the most important thing in any business. And I thought, wow, that is a strong statement. Can you elaborate on it? And does it happen to refer to Richard Childress Racing?
That came about, Racer Sites does my website stuff, and they're just an awesome company. First of all, shout out to Chuck Tate at racersites.com. And we were going to get a quote from Richard Childress to put there as the opening screen. But you know, I ended up using that actually as kind of a place filler, and then we just liked it so much we left it. So it kind of came about, you know, in a way. Chuck kind of asked me, you know, describe kind of, you know, the statement that sums up you being with RCR, and that was it. And you know, I feel like the main thing is, you know, some of the other teams I've been on, they've all been, you know, really good teams, but I feel like at RCR, everyone's really with me, not just for me. You know, I'm not like anyone's boss. I feel like we're all on the same level, and you know, it's really a cool feeling to be part of that kind of family feeling where, you know, everyone's working towards the same goal. So I think that, yeah, that kind of represents the team synergy.
Now, how you got into racing, I thought was very interesting compared to the typical story. You went from catering to racing. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, sure. Well, the first thing, you know, in 1990, I still have this trophy case here in my place in Charlotte, and one of the coolest trophies I have on there is a little Pinewood Derby car, and that was from 1990, and we got second place. So that was the first time, you know, I kind of learned. I was 10 years old, and I learned about, you know, winning and losing and kind of, you know, the hierarchy of that. So I kind of got it in my head that, you know, I want to be first. I want to be first at everything I do. You know, so I kind of always had that competitive nature, and, you know, from, you know, just fighting my brother with a shopping cart down the, you know, grocery store, my mom yelling, to whatever it was. And then, yeah, I really enjoyed cooking, and this guy, Rick Walstead, really a nice guy, gave me a shot at, you know, this kind of internship with one of his restaurants in New York, and one of the jobs was catering events for the Ferrari Challenge Series. And actually, I got in a fight with the chef one day, this Italian guy, and he, you know, he didn't really speak English very well, but I knew he was mad at me, and he kind of just motioned me to go out of the tent, and I saw those cars driving around the track at that point, and I said, you know, this is a little more fun than cooking. I mean, I love to cook, don't get me wrong, but, you know, I really kind of developed that passion right there, and I was just, you know, just about to get into college, and, you know, I didn't want to do a desk job, so I, you know, figured out that my true passion was actually cars anyways, and, you know, I just thought, you know, why not be competitive with the cars, and that, you know, that was racing.
All right. Now, even though I'm going to kind of jump ahead, I want to ask about, I know Candy wants to ask about Skip Barber, but I want to go right into the nationwide debut that you had, even though it wasn't the result you were hoping for, but can you tell us a little bit about your nationwide debut?
Very cool, first of all. Actually, just today I got a big block of 4-year-aged Wisconsin cheddar, and my sponsor was Sargento Cheese. And Mr. Gentine sent it to me. He's the CEO of Sargento, and, you know, a little handwritten note, and I dug into that thing right when he sent it. So first of all, really cool to have, you know, a big sponsor on board, and, you know, the Zach Shoes is on the back, but Sargento was the primary deal. So that was really fun, and then I'd won there in the Skip Barber Series, so going back to a track that I'd been on a little bit, but it was way different. I mean, being in a heavy stock car, completely a different deal. And you know, I kind of struggled with some times all weekend until I finally got the setup dialed in. We were just too tight all weekend. Finally got the setup dialed in, and we were actually pretty quick race pace wise. So really, I had a really good time, you know, racing with those guys, and you know, it really gave me a boost of confidence, knowing that I can compete at that level, and I look forward to doing it again.
Well, I mean, you're saying all the right things as far as that's concerned when it talks to racing. Now, Candy and myself are getting involved, or we are involved in our drivers for a new series called Caged Heat Racing Series. Are you familiar with it?
What is it again? I'm sorry, it's just a little tough to hear.
Caged Heat Racing Series. Are you familiar with it?
KHD? No.
No, Caged Heat.
No, I haven't heard of it. Maybe I should though.
Yeah, well, when you get a chance, you get on www.highoctanethrills.com, and basically it's a track that's getting ready to be assembled for 67.5 degrees of banking on the size of an ice arena, and it'll stand 22.5 feet up in the air.
Cool.
And we're going to travel with this series all around the country. I believe we're going to start with 20 major cities that are not affiliated with racing, and that's why you touch a lot about with the media and the the marketing aspect, and that's how we're going to launch this series, to be able to go ahead and give this opportunity to fans that are not that close to racetracks around the country, and let them have an experience with professional racing, but an indoor environment.
Yeah, it's very cool. I'm actually on the website right now. I happen to be in front of the computer. I have not heard of this, but I've been seeing some tweets about it recently. I just haven't had a chance to check it out. It is pretty cool.
Yeah, so look into it. Tell us what you think, and I'm sure we'll have you back on as a guest, and maybe give us your opinion on that, and go from there.
Sounds good. Yeah, these definitely. I mean, I have some buddies who are doing a new go-kart track, and this is kind of that to the next level, really.
Now, where can all of your fans find you, and where can we expect to see you racing or appearing, in the not too distant future?
Well, I'm definitely racing the rest of the ARCA series. We're working right now on possibly getting a sponsor to do a couple truck races at the end of the year here. I think if I would have finished in the top 10, we might have had an opportunity to run Watkins Glen, but that probably has vanished. I would have loved to have done that. I love Watkins Glen, but we'll have to wait till next year. We can lock that in. I think hopefully we'll get to be Austin Dillon's teammate in the truck series for a couple races this year, and next year nothing's signed yet. But I'm definitely trying to stay with RCR, a great team, and Richard Childress is just a great boss to have, and we've just learned so much from him and Mike Dillon, in this little time, and I just think that that's the place for me to be.
So where can the fans get all the information on you? Where's the best place to go?
Oh, my website, definitely TimGeorgeJr.com, the Twitter, Tim George Jr., the Twitter deal, and then the Facebook is pretty good too. I keep up on that. I actually have more Facebook fans than Twitter, so we have to really work hard and get this Twitter following up. So let's give me some shout out on Twitter there, and it's really cool because the website actually pushes out on the homepage, so you can go to the homepage and actually see the live tweets from there, my most recent tweets.
All right. Well, Tim, I have found you to be an extremely interesting person, and it was an honor to have you on the show tonight. And I know that all of us here at Hot Racing Radio wish you the best in the rest of the ARCA series and any other events that you decide to undertake this year.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. You have a great night, and hopefully you'll be able to meet some of you guys soon. And look for us this weekend in the University of Miami Bonaconi Fund Chevrolet. That's number 31 in the ARCA series, and we're trying to help raise awareness to cure paralysis, which is a really cool thing, get people out of wheelchairs. So make sure to tune in Speed Channel at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, and we'll be there racing.
All right.
Saturday night.
Thanks, Tim. Okay, so coming up after the next break, we are going to have with us Frank Kimmel, so make sure to stay tuned after this.